Discord.
Oh, I guess I should actually go to the Twitch page to make sure everyone is running.
Yeah, mine's up right now.
I can't share the tweet. I already did. Haha.
You did?
Well, I shared a tweet saying that we were going live, yeah.
And we're back.
Confirm and go live. Waiting for Twitch to do its thing. It says we're live, so I'm going to hit mute and do the intro thing.
Hi, this is Nikki Rapp. You're listening to Points of Interest Podcast.
On this episode of the Points of Interest podcast, states are lifting their mask mandates, Muppets on SNL, but none of that really matters because we're doing what Savanna wants to do tonight, and we're getting drunk. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the most generic podcast on the internet. My name is Josh Hawks. I am the 303 Ninja. Right over there, she is my best friend and podcasting partner. It is the very talented and pretty, it's the master of rafters, Savanna.
Dino DNA!
Oh, yes, I can't get enough. Even further over there, he is my best friend and podcasting partner for life. He is the other guy. It's Mr. Francis Fernandez.
Dino DNA!
It's weird when you do it. Before we get too deep into this, yes, you see a slightly different look to the show this week. It's because I'm learning how to use technology. It's really cool. Skype has a technology built into it they put in, I believe, last year due to the things that happened. And I should probably switch scenes on the freaking Twitch so we can see each other. Or it was the whole time. I don't know. Whatever.
Oh boy.
Whatever. They put this technology in so you can, because there are so many interviews that were taking place over Skype and Zoom last year on TV, they put this technology in to separate audio and video channels. So I was able to pull everybody's video into separate pictures. Yay, technology. Look at me, being techie.
Now, how do we know for sure people can hear us?
No.
I'm going to test that.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I'm echoing.
All right.
Oh.
Okay. So, now I just did a couple. I didn't realize that the audio sources were on. So how about now?
I guess I'm about to find out and see if I'm echoing.
Hey, man, this
I'm
is
no
what
longer
happened.
echoing.
See? Okay. Got it figured out.
Yeah. Can I just do one more thing?
Yes.
I love that Savannah's square is smaller than ours.
Is it?
Thanks. Thank you. Thanks. I didn't even notice, but appreciate it.
I'm
I get it, Josh.
I
get it.
You
Join late, it's fine.
Oh my God! Look,
I'm not an OG. I get it.
Look at it now. Look at it now.
Oh my God!
I doing shit on the fly, people.
I apologize for this joke already, but it's like my penis; it's growing. All right.
I hope it grows every time that we do this because that's why I've been doing this with you for so long, Francis.
Jesus, you guys.
As the thing said, we're getting drunk tonight because we are all of age, and if you are not of age, you should not get drunk or use alcohol or whatever.
Nice.
Hey, CYA. CYA.
Also, I did not demand that we get drunk. I just wanted you to try this beer.
Dink dink drunk.
At what point did I say we're getting drunk? And that's when that sound editor in the back replays something from what I said last week. I said,
right.
Let's get drunk.
When we have,
I got my little bottle of spiced rum here, ready to go.
Oh well, I have some of
what?
I have. Oh my God, some of this.
Jim Beam.
Jim Beam. It's the
Devil's
cut. I'm sorry, my camera wasn't focusing.
I have 0 hard A at my house, man.
But I have those just in case. They just sit there on my desk. But yeah,
all the time.
yeah, they just sit there. They're just little plastic shooters. They just sit there. I have no reason to move them or anything. So they just sit there. They're fun to look at.
Case of emergency.
In case of emergency.
Oh, yeah.
And it would have to be one hell of an emergency because I don't really drink alcohol. I get high. I smoke weed.
What?
So before we get too deep into this, kind of sad news depending on who you are in your fandom. Wrestler under the name of New Jack. His name was Jerome Young. He died over the weekend. New Jack was one of those extreme wrestler type of dudes. He would come to the ring with weapons. He was very known for a couple big incidents in wrestling. One was versus a guy named Vic Grimes. There was some prior incident where Vic injured New Jack, and New Jack wanted revenge. He was not the guy you wanted to mess with. His character, and it was said very many times that there was no real difference between Jerome and New Jack. He kind of got lost in himself and his character or whatever. But there is some sort of weird scaffold match where he threw Vic Grimes off of a scaffold of like 30 feet.
Jesus.
And almost killed the guy in the ring. The guy missed his neck hitting the rope by like inches, apparently.
Oh my God. No. It's terrible.
We're drinking Golden Road's Mango Cart tonight. And I had to take a sip because my throat was trying to kill myself right there.
And how do you like it?
It's I'm not a huge fan of mango.
Okay.
But this isn't bad. It's not bad.
I think it's a real good summer drink.
Yes, very much so.
Inspired by the iconic fruits
I
cart
thought you said-
vendors of Los Angeles.
I thought you said it was expired. I was like,
Expired.
yes.
It's expired, which makes it taste that much better.
So if you
Chew
ever
it.
if you ever want to see a very violent thing that happened in wrestling, look up the Vic Grimes incident. There was also
Look up the fruit cart incident.
the fruit. Yeah. So then the other big thing there was, and it was something that I showed a little meme to Savanna to the other day, and there was a wrestler. Well, he wasn't a wrestler. He was an amateur kid. He was 17 years old. Lied about his age. Lied about his training. The guy he said that trained him happened to be at the show that he was going to appear at, but that trainer apparently was so high or didn't know who the kid did. I don't really remember his side of things, but ended up saying I never trained the kid. Ended up going into a match with New Jack and 3 other people in a tag team thing. Before the match, the kid went by the name of Mass Transit. He was kind of a big guy. He went up to New Jack and his tag team partner at the time, and kind of was trying to, from the 2 wrestlers' point of view, was trying to command the match. And New Jack took offense to it. They wanted to do a spot. Mass Transit wanted to do a spot where he gets cut, and asked to be cut as opposed to cutting himself. And New Jack said, "Sure, I'll cut you," and sliced this kid's forehead open in the middle of the ring. He is not selling; he's screaming for his life for real.
Yikes.
You can hear the kid's father screaming. He's only 17 years old.
Dad, stop.
But as far as like wrestling goes, I mean, it's for the type of wrestling that he was doing, he was awesome. He was fun to watch. When I found ECW in the mid 90s, he was definitely one of those characters that I always wanted to see every week. But it kind of sucks. It sucks that he died so early. He was only 58 years old.
Dang.
That's pretty young.
Apparently from a heart attack, I believe. Just kind of sucks. But the Vice does these wrestling. I don't remember what it's called. I think Behind the Mat.
Mm-hmm.
And they did one last year, I believe, on New Jack. So it was really cool that he got to kind of tell his story on things and his side of things and whatnot. It was really cool. On a lighter side of things.
Sure.
Did you guys, or have you guys ever been fans of go to the bowling alley or bowling in general?
I think as a kid, it was really fun. But after I had wrist surgery, I stopped bowling. So it's been 11 years.
Nice points.
Wow.
It's not points. It was obnoxious. Yeah, no, I think it's been about 11 years since I bowled.
Okay.
That's not still bad. I mean, that doesn't seem like. I think it's been. I think most people after a certain age just stop bowling because
I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not.
I have friends who are like in leagues. Like it's weird. Like that is weird to me. But like randomly going bowling once every other year is not like, I don't know. But I also, the biggest city near me is Fargo, North Dakota. So
I bring it up just because in a couple conversations at the employment place, on a couple occasions, it came up about bowling, and I told everybody that I grew up in a bowling alley, meaning that instead of going to school or perhaps spending most of or all of my weekends inside of a bowling alley, usually in front of an arcade machine, but spending a lot of times throwing balls at pins. And it with life either forcing their way back into normalcy, or as things get back to some sort of normalcy, I want to go bowling, like badly.
I'll go with you. I just can't bowl.
Hey, that's fine. I need someone to not only cheer me on but also make fun of me.
Oh yeah, no, I won't cheer you on.
I'll just put the bumpers up.
Yeah, there you go.
That would be
I mean, for
dangerous.
Savannah, you could just roll the ball.
Well, the bumper, but you could get one of those like for the kids where you.
Oh, that's
The
right.
sleds.
Yeah, the ramp.
Yeah, or ramp, I guess, is more appropriate. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd think at this point in technology we would have some sort of like robotic pneumatic,
Oh, well, then what's the
bowling
point?
ball cannon.
No, you need the visceral, like the touch, the feel of a bowling ball in your hand. Like you need to know.
You really need to
sweaty,
stick your
like,
fingers in some holes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say though, one local venue, for like high school bands to play at was at a bowling alley, and so All-Star Bowl, and so there were times where I would just bowl instead of watch my friends play.
I mean, that's where most of my Killer Instinct playing and Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat playing all took place at the local bowling alley that was not too far from my house. And that was one of the high school that I went to had several hangout spots depending on which clique you belong to. And the bowling alley happened to be one of them where a lot of cliques went to. So it was just something you did. I graduated high school and I still went to the bowling alley because that's what I've done for the last 4 years. So I don't know what else to do.
And then the show's shifted to a billiards hall.
I mean, yeah, occasionally I go to the billiards hall.
But I mean, like the shows were there, so I just like.
You're talking.
I only
there.
went
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
places because
you could pull a
Shoot some stick.
Yeah.
shoot some stick.
Did you?
Or whatever.
I can play pool.
Weren't you in a
pool,
league at
yeah.
one point or no? Am I just making that up? Were you in a league or am I making that up in my head?
Me?
Yes.
A league?
Yeah, obviously
a pool
not.
league?
Obviously not with the reaction like that.
was a snooker league, really.
Yeah, it was snooker.
No,
What? I don't even
suck at
understand.
pool.
I don't even understand. what
There's
snooker is.
a very sweet spot at one point when I drank heavily. There's that sweet spot where I could play really well for about 15 minutes, and then it was gone. Same with darts. That's the same way too.
Were you able to calculate all the angles and stuff?
No,
and
it was just lots of
pure slop.
I was just like real. I was like, yep, real assured of myself. Like, fucking best right here.
Well,
so you're going. So in other words, you're going bowling.
I'm
Josh.
probably, yeah, and I think the technique is going to be bring a bottle of Windex or Clorox or whatever, and just
Clorox.
spray the
Windex
spray
is not
the
This
gonna
is not going to do
kill
anything.
I know what the hell is this? The Fat Greek Wedding.
I've never even seen that movie.
Well, that's you would understand.
I know
Windex
that,
thing.
but
So, can I just say one weird anecdote about that movie? So
Sure.
It came out at my theater in like January of whatever year, right? And it finally left theaters January of the next year. So many people were watching that movie. I'm like, people are still watching this movie. Yes, we have to keep it. There has to be at least one theater that holds this movie because it always sells out. I'm like, you're insane. And then a year later, they're like, yeah, I guess you can get on DVD now, so we'll just shut it down. But for a year, freaking
Wow.
people kept going. Even when it was out, you could buy it. People came
there
to the
was
theater
that
to
one
watch it.
part. I know there's a one part where they're like oiling up a big bronze Greek god. So
Maybe that was it. I don't know.
I
I know there was a
probably-
sequel, but
anyway.
so there you go.
Yeah.
It
Anyway.
just amazed me. I mean, it just amazed me. But yeah, go bowling. Do a 7-10 split.
Yeah,
Do a,
Well, I just
Spin that
think
ball.
taking a bunch of Clorox and not only, I mean, I think the spray they shot into the shoes would kill just about everything.
Yeah.
But
Which I believe they do into the balls as well.
well, I would need to use my
But
own
that's not till
protection.
the end of the night. So
Right, and I would have to bring my own protection.
yeah, you got to make sure you put your balls in the towel and you start rubbing them with the towel. Making sure they're all nice.
I could probably get away with wearing a glove, honestly, like a rubber glove.
Well, yeah, well, I
But
don't think you should go bowling without a glove, really.
I mean, either way. But it's something I think I would like to do. It'd be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you're gonna put it in the hole, you got to wear the glove. I'm always saying. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I
all
mean
I'm
that is the standard policy since about 1990 or so,
That's true.
where they
Yeah.
really started like
Before-
harping on people, or that could just because I was hitting middle school and that's all they were concerned about was us having sex, unprotected sex, apparently.
Ugh. Not in my school. Oh man, though I do remember in high school when they finally showed the sex ed videos and we're like, oh, that's what it looks like when someone gives birth. Thanks, guys. All right.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was in a room in a delivery room. I was standing behind the dad in case he passed out.
And you ended up passing out instead.
No. I held it together, but my girlfriend at the time was bending his wife in half and telling her to push. And the nurse was like, and the doctor was like, not yet. Keep bending her in half, though. You're doing a great job. We'll tell her when to push.
Bend her in half.
Like the kid was breaching, and she's like, look. And I'm like, the only kid I'm looking at coming out of anything is my own. And I don't want any, so I don't need to see that. But yeah, I took a strategic position so I can kind of see, but not see.
Is it like a quarterback position where you're all bent over with your hands out like this, ready to catch?
It was more, yeah, kind of. At one point, because the dude did, he was kind of jelly-kneed at one point.
Yeah.
Hey, I just saw a thing on here. I didn't even know it was a thing on here on the OBS Streamlabs thing. Krondek, I think that's right, is the newest follower. So hey, thanks, appreciate it.
Oh, there you go.
That's
hey,
awesome.
friend.
Join in on the conversation. So Colorado, and I imagine other places, have lifted or are lifting their mask mandates. Is that we have people on?
June 15th is
Okay.
California, I believe, is when I believe our governor wants to open up fully by the 15th of June.
North Dakota never had one.
Right.
Our governor just last week said he's going to lift it. Everything can be at 100% capacity. I don't know if this is the exact. Yes. I don't know if this is the exact quote, but it went something to the effect of trusting the public to do the right thing, which immediately when I heard that, I said, you know what? You said the same thing last year when you were saying this was, and everybody out there was saying this was only going to last 2 weeks.
Yep.
So let's all do the right thing. Let's all just stay home for 2 weeks.
15 days.
And a lot of good that helped. That. So we'll see what happens. I don't want to spend too much time talking about this because whatever. But I've already seen people at the grocery store, which had recently put up even more signs to say to wear a mask inside the store, not wearing masks. So I think it's just going to be. We've had a fight for the last year. Now there's going to be another one. So it's going to be interesting. I think there will be. I really do.
Yeah. North Dakota or Minnesota just lifted the mask mandate and everything's open again. But I'm finding that a lot of places still have signs up requiring it.
Mm-hmm.
I always go in wearing one. That's just what I'm going to do from now on, until I feel more comfortable. At work, we all had a discussion, and all of us but one employee are vaccinated, and we all had, there's a couple people with some vulnerable situations at home, and they were all okay with it.
And see, it's been a weird situation for me because I haven't had to I only wear a mask when I go to the grocery store because I don't go anywhere. Right. It wasn't until recently when I had a guest over, where I went a bunch of different places where a mask was required. Sure, and and I'm going to be traveling in a month or so, where I will not be wearing. Well, I will be. I'm sorry. I will be wearing one consistently because where I'm going, they're nothing like this. Mm-hmm. But as for the fight, I actually feel like just kind of in general is I think the general public, not us, we're informed at least. The people who don't care, the people who have been kind of just
real blasé,
kind of in a haze, kind of been zombieing it the whole time, and aren't trying to they're just trying to live or whatever. They'll be like, we're kind of tired of this. We'll just go, let's go back to being normal again. Which kind of, I mean, you can't fight, unfortunately, millions of people.
No.
Sadly. And it's unfortunate because, we got ours. We're all beat up, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're all going to mutate.
Waxed and waxed, ready to go.
Ooh, waxed too, right?
Slut.
Wow. Sweet.
Hot girl summer.
I was gonna say, you didn't get the memo. We're all waxed.
I'm late to the party as always.
Yeah, come on now. I'm a slip and slide. So
Points. But yeah, so it's a thing. It's happening.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, so did you guys see this past week that Muppets were on Saturday Night Live?
I didn't watch it yet. Oh no.
I don't ever watch Saturday Night Live.
I'm not a Saturday Night Live viewer, but when Muppets do anything, I'm pretty aware of it.
Yeah.
Shoot, I usually watch it on Sundays on Hulu, and I just didn't this week, and now I will have to watch it tonight.
There is a very funny, without spoiling anything, there's a very funny.
Spoil it.
All right. It's a very funny skit with Statler and Waldorf. I have a really hard time saying that name. Where they're heckling Kermit, as per usual. The set looks like the Muppet set, the Muppet Theater. And I guess Keegan-Michael Key is now a cast member.
Oh.
I guess, or he's a guest.
No, he was the host.
He's a host. Okay.
Host.
Yeah.
And Keenan from Keenan and Kel, I believe, was the other actor in the improv guy, whatever, in the skit. And they jumped out as security for the venue. Not for Kermit, for the venue.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, you can't heckle what's going on, man. It's like, we don't really care about the show, but like, you can't do what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They have a few back and forths. And eventually the security guards come up to the what is that they sit in? What would you call that?
It's a box.
With a
The
box
box,
seat,
yeah, the
with a
box seat.
Yeah.
And Key beats the shit out of one of them. And
Okay.
the climax to the skit, they grab them both. The security guards grab the hecklers by the shoulders and pick them up, removing them from the Muppeteers. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
The punchline. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you guys were vets. Let me put you back in your chair.
Jesus.
It was hilarious.
Because they didn't have legs, Francis.
Because they don't have legs. So it was funny. I laughed. I didn't see what else they did, if that was the only bit or if there were more.
I'll be honest. That's all you cared about.
That really was the only. I mean, it's the only one I looked for.
Yeah.
When I heard they were on there, because I'm a big fan of Keegan-Michael Key. But I don't know if Muppets work on Saturday Night Live. You know what I'm saying?
As a
Yeah.
skit, it does maybe, but
As
not
a
as
skit.
maybe not as a regular thing.
Yeah.
But as a skit, it probably works.
Yeah, it's in front of a live audience like that, of adults. You know,
Oh,
you know
the
what I'm
Muppet
saying?
Show? Is that what?
I mean, I would say, there's a lot of Muppet fans of all ages, and there's a lot of SNL fans of all ages that probably go to the shows if they have fans at the shows. I have no idea right now.
They have select audience right now.
So I mean, it's just I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. Muppets on SNL.
Well, here's the thing, which is funny because I actually think that the Muppets are geared towards adults, really.
Yeah, right.
I
Totally.
don't actually
Yeah,
think.
I don't think it's a kid's show.
Yeah.
No,
You're not going to get the jokes if you're a kid.
No, I never did.
So, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I think, yeah, it is a good fit because the adults will get it and the adults will know.
At the same time, I never got I have a drinking problem in Airplane, like the double entendre. Clearly, he has a drinking problem,
Right.
but he didn't know he had a drinking problem.
Right.
Yeah. I love the Muppets. I love everything they do. So it's great to see him do anything. But like I said, I don't know if they totally work on Saturday Night Live.
Anything.
Anything.
All right.
You ever seen a Muppet on a bike? It's one of the
I
greatest.
have. Yes.
It's one of the
Kermit's
greatest
on
things
a
in the
bike.
world.
Yeah, Kermit was on a bike.
Everyone lost their damn mind when Kermit rode a bike.
Yeah, that's awesome. Kermit, the Muppets on bikes is one of the greatest things ever.
In general.
Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I haven't seen anything from Saturday Night Live in so long that I'm thinking anything that gets an audience, that gets at least one person to watch a skit, they're doing the right thing. They're going the right direction. They got you to watch a skit. That's a start.
I mean, yeah, that's very true. It's very true.
They were drinking mango carts.
Yeah. So Mango Cart from Golden Road from like somewhere in Francis's.
Yeah.
Francis.
It's a California-based company,
Yeah.
the Golden Road Brewing. I guess they have like an actual place where I can get it on tap.
That would be.
It's really
probably-
good on tap.
I imagine this is pretty tasty on tap.
Yeah.
I mean, anything out of a can is just like. I mean, it's good. Don't take that the wrong way. But I mean, like, Pib out of a can is just like it's Pib. But Pib out of a fountain, that's something different.
All right.
Like,
Same
is
thing
it
with
Pib?
beer.
Like,
Same thing with beer.
Well, no. I have to add. No.
Like
We
beer
can't
out of
get
a
past
tap.
this real quick. Hold on.
Beer out of a tap
hold
is
on,
so
hold
much
on.
better.
We can't step past this. So is this your confession that you prefer Pib over Pepper?
Yeah.
Because they're the same thing, right?
I mean,
Pib over Pepper?
Pib over Pepper?
I mean, if I could have it my way, I'd have I can't remember what the generic one is that.
Dr. Lightning or
Dr.
whatever.
Thunder?
Oh, Dr. Thunder.
Maybe that's what it is, because it gives you gas.
To go into your
That'll
RC
big-
Cola.
big- Okay.
RC Cola machine, yeah.
Kroger's Big K had a Dr. Pepper clone, and I can't remember. That's the one I grew up drinking. I can't think of what it was called.
I've never heard anyone say Pib over Pepper though.
Pib
That's
over
a first. That's a first for me.
I
They
mean,
have those weird shaped bottles.
That too.
I haven't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know. It just has a little bit more bite to it. Seems. Yeah, especially out of a fountain.
Well, look, I can't complain because AMC.
We all
my
have different
theater-
taste buds here.
What?
What? Like, you know how
AMC,
some
my
people
theater
are
of
like
choice.
colorblind? I feel that like I'm colored, or I'm taste blind sometimes.
Okay.
Like
I mean, like, I
I
can
smoke weed
appreciate
with
that.
people and they're like, "Oh, it's so, it's fruity, or it's earthy, it's this and that." And I'm like, it's weed, man. It's all
wow.
weed. It's all weed to me. When I smoke
I was-
cigarettes, all cigarettes it's a cigarette.
No.
See,
Wow.
that's
You
what
need
I
a more
asked.
refined palate there.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
There are, yeah, no, I can taste every different strain of weed for sure. Sometimes I can't tell you what it is, but
Well,
I can tell that it's different.
What is the best tasting?
Speaking of
Mr.
which,
Pibb, obviously.
No, in weed form. Like,
Mr.
whatever.
Pibb, obviously.
speaking of consumption of marijuana,
Okay.
Francis.
Obviously not.
Francis, did your visitor enjoy any local dispensaries?
Well, here's the problem. We couldn't because we ended up going to a hotel instead of having, so we didn't really have a place to kind of,
Consume.
partake in it.
I remember a conversation, protecting some kayfabe, conversation that we had, not on here, about things, and I know that you had the same visitor in question came, so I was like, oh, I should have. There was a missed opportunity there to be like, hey, I know your visitor's coming, so here are the answers to questions you had.
Well, what's funny is now we're kind of looking towards even less. So there's, she's unfortunately experiencing a pain issue, and I'm like, CBD's got to work for that because she's tried other stuff and it's not really working. And I'm like, man, I really need to know where the best place for her, because that's not available where she is. Where she lives, it's not available. I'm like, wonder if I could bring her some, and I don't know if I can actually. But I would like to because she's, she does
You're
have a pain
pre-check,
issue.
man. Oh wait, you're not international pre-check though.
I know global I'm not global pre-check, which I wish I was. But that's like another $80 or something.
Yeah, I mean,
Someone's muted.
Sorry.
Huh?
Don't buy a house in between two sets of train tracks, guys.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
Oh. It's funny because the train lit up Josh's face for like a second there. Did you see all the lights that went past his
I
face? I'm
saw
like,
that,
what the heck
yeah.
is
Oh.
going on
It's because there's things going on over here.
over there? Oh.
Josh is just.
I have way too much media going all at the same time.
Okay.
That's
Well, because you're
what
the media master.
That's all I will say.
Yep.
So yeah,
I think getting this nice video card months ago was a bad idea.
So anyway, so the conversation has shifted, unfortunately, when it comes to that stuff, because it's like, oh, now it's more of a pain management issue more than it is a let's go get high together.
Right. But so I mean, it works better together.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. Well, it's an entourage.
Oh,
An
I did
entourage
like that
effect.
show.
No. So Let me take a sip of this tasty beverage.
What about Turtle? Oh,
Sponsor us.
So you can take CBD and it will get into your system. It'll just take a little while. So think of it as a nightclub, and everybody's waiting behind the velvet rope, and they're getting in one at a time, over time. Now, if that same group of people show up with their kind of rowdy friend THC, THC greases the doorman and kicks the door open and says, "Hey, CBD, come on in. The door's open."
I like it. Okay.
So CBD comes in, and CBD is anti-psychoactive. So it keeps THC sitting at the table watching everybody's purses. While CBD...
Apparently, if you take too many edibles and find yourself disassociating, you should probably have some CBD on hand.
Yes, everybody should have
I just
some.
heard this.
Yeah. Yeah, even sometimes when the edible the person is taking has loads of CBD in it, if they're not used to the THC part and have a low tolerance, they will still get very high and probably fall asleep, leaving the person they were really wanting to hang out with going to dinner with somebody they don't know.
This sounds really specific, Josh.
It may have made that happen. I don't know. It's all, we're just making
Josh,
things
can you
up.
tell us how you really feel?
We've already discussed this. It was like 2 episodes ago, I believe.
So you're saying then, in essence, in order for CBD to work effectively and efficiently, it needs its pal THC to kind of...
And you don't need a lot. Like I said, you just need some to open the door.
So how do you... I guess the question then becomes, how do you know the balance?
Depends on the amount of pain. So let's say somebody had a major case of the RA,
Munchies.
which all cases of RA are major. They would want anywhere between a 5-to-1 and up ratio CBD over THC. So whatever ratio you find that's highest in THC or CBD, that's what you go with.
Okay. Well, this is good to know.
Yes.
So
I am your source. I am your source and teacher of the things of marijuana.
Telling you, you should do a separate show where it's all about that.
Yeah.
Maybe so. There was talk of doing an all wrestling show with somebody recently.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I already have a theme song already made and everything. Just I've never got to use it. But yeah, so all that conversation was the thing. That was good. The next random thing I have to talk about, it's something that Savanna and we all kind of touched on in a group chat, was the search for this delicious adult beverage. I went, this beer drinking ass town that I live in, I had to go to 4 separate places to find this tasty beverage. And I'm not saying that I went to great lengths or anything like that, but I'm complaining that every time that I want to go and find something, I can't ever find the shit. Then, once I have the shit, I go to my local grocery store to get my dinner, and next to the pizza aisle is the beer aisle, which beer at the grocery store, I know for Francis, is no big deal. But for
normal.
Savanna and I, it's weird.
It's super
But
weird.
how new is it for you?
2018, January 1st, 2018.
Wow.
I knew you were going to
Yeah,
ask
we
that
don't-
question and researched it.
Yeah. Wow.
This is how long we've been friends. I know.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Yeah, because
So,
I
go ahead.
'cause it's all my life, I remember being a little kid. I was at the grocery store. I was like 8 or something, and I accidentally knocked over a bottle of wine, and it spilled all over the place. And I started crying because I thought I was gonna get in trouble. I'm like, no, you're just a kid. You knocked it over. Who cares? But like that's in the 80s, so it's been forever,
Right.
and it's so weird to me that you can't just go to the local grocery store and just buy all the alcohol you want.
It's wild. Anytime I go anywhere else outside of the Midwest, I'm just like gas stations, grocery store, drugstores, like just let's just pick up some wine. Whereas like for us, it's like you have to make like 3 different stops depending on if you go to the nice liquor store or the shitty one.
Right.
Oh my goodness. I remember when I was my ex was a bit of a partier, and at like 2 a.m, she's like, I need more wine. And we'd like go to the local 7-Eleven, and there's like all this cheap wine. It's like, all right, getting this. And we just walk out with like so much alcohol.
See, and that's the thing too, is like liquor stores close early, and like
24 hours, baby. 24
Minnesota's
hours.
like 10 p.m.
Francis, when we were in Seattle, had we gone to a grocery store, we would have been able to buy alcohol there as well.
Maybe it's a coastal.
Which I thought
thing.
was just weird.
What time is bar closed in California?
2
2.
a.m.
Oh, okay. New York, it's like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Vegas, it's never.
It's
Yeah. But yeah, I went to this former grocery store that is now a liquor store. Place was huge. Like, I live near a gigantic liquor store, and it was tiny in comparison. So I found the 6-pack. I go to the grocery store, get my dinner. Look at I'm opposite the pizza aisle is the beer aisle, and there it is right there.
Perfect.
I'm like, I could have just gone here instead of driving, not out of my way, but just driving all over the fucking place looking for it. So it made me giggle. I wanted to take a picture of it and be like, it was right here. I was here last night.
We have a store here called Beverages and More. Do you guys have those?
No.
I have a total wine.
We don't
and
have
more.
Oh yeah,
either.
Total Wine. Yeah, Total Wine.
Okay, so
Total
that's what it is. So you know what I'm talking about, Francis.
Wine. Yeah.
I always see it
Gigantic.
online.
It was like a Whole Foods of
Just
liquor
alcohol.
stores, but it was just alcohol. They had like an alcohol bar in the middle of mine. There was like some I don't know if it was like a sample bar or if they were like gonna serve out some quesadillas or something at some point. Like, here's some Totino's pizza rolls. I don't know what they were doing, but yeah, it was crazy. I never been to such a large liquor store. And we got some gigantic fucking liquor stores here.
We have the Bottle Barn, and that's as big as it gets, really.
The Bottle Barn.
The Bottle Barn.
Is that
They
in
have
any
penny
relation?
wine sales like biannually.
Is it in any relation to the Shoe Barn?
The Boot Barn, you mean?
The Boot Barn. Yeah,
We
Boot
have,
Barn.
we have a
Yeah,
Shoe
I
Barn
don't
here, I
believe so.
think.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
You have a Boot Barn.
Okay, well, fuck. What do I know?
You probably have a Shoe Corral.
I've been wearing the same
Oh, there's Shoe
pair,
Carnival.
the same style of skater shoes since 1996. So like,
I'm gonna ask you the question then. What shoes? Because I forget. What are your shoes?
I switch between Vans and DCs.
Mm.
Just low top, classic skater shoes.
Okay.
Where you tuck your laces into your laces, even though they're too long. That's why you tuck them in there, and you just whatever. The shoelaces, who cares?
I've been wearing Adidas Superstars, like with the original clamshell toe, the shell toe. Yeah, those are my shoes of choice these days.
Such a child, because I don't wear shoes with laces. I just wear slip-ons. Skechers.
I was hoping you were gonna say like Velcro. Or, like Crocs.
I wear shoes with
Hush
little
puppies.
skates.
I don't want to
Little
talk
What's
about
skates
it.
on them.
No, I was
I
going
wear
to bring
shoes with
something up, but I don't want to talk about it on here. So I'll tell you guys
What's
later.
that?
I was going to bring something up, but it's breaking too much kayfabe, so I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Okay.
But
About
it's something I
shoes?
want to talk about when we're done, and it's something about shoes. So
Oh, that's interesting. I like that shoes has become a kayfabe situation.
I have it. It's just because it deals with work.
Oh, gotcha.
One of our supporters just called me out for having a different colored can than you guys, and I just want everyone to know that they make an NA version.
Yes.
So
For
if
all
you
the-
needed another reason.
For all the people that are sober or may have overdone it recently.
You know,
You can never
sometimes-
overdo it.
Yes, Francis. Yes, you can.
I know. Yeah.
I believe we witnessed overdoing it several times on the streets of downtown San Diego during
Oh,
Comic-Con. I believe there was a night where I was trying to get you to look at the guy that was sleeping against the bar that just closed. He was like leaning against the front door, just having a nap, standing straight up. It was amazing. People were walking by and taking pictures and posing with the guy, and it was great.
Remember, we almost had to go kung fu on some guy who was overserved. So I mean, it happens.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know it at the time. You pushed me really hard, like you tacoed me almost in half.
Oh,
because a guy was getting ready to pickpocket me. I didn't know this. All I know is that I was getting tacoed, and I was like, I just turned around with a hand getting ready to get cocked back and slam somebody, and Francis was like, just keep moving. I'll tell you later.
yeah.
I'm like, yes, but I just got tacoed, and I'm wearing a backpack full of gear, so that makes it
Oh,
even more
man.
like challenging that you physically impossible, but you somehow did it.
What I love about that is that yes. Well, no, I don't want to say that because people. Hey, Josh, we know you have gear in your bag.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, at the time I
Oh,
did, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's the cost of being press over at San Diego.
Yeah. You get jacked up by fucking Disney security when you're doing stuff at WonderCon while you're still wearing your media credentials, right? That has your name
What are
on
you
it
doing
and
there?
everything. What are you doing here with that microphone? Can't you read this? It says media.
I know you can record stuff with that camera, but don't record anything, okay? Even though you have a phone that can do exactly the same thing.
Which I believe I said to the guy.
And yeah, you did. You did.
I
And they're
pulled
just
my
like,
phone out and I was like, isn't this professional recording equipment?
It was just this.
Yeah.
We just did what we're told.
So a hot tip for everybody: don't take handheld microphones to any Disney anything. Don't take lapel mics to Disney anything.
Or the airport.
But the shotgun mic that's attached to your DSLR, totally fine. Totally fine.
Seems legit.
Yeah.
Can I just tell a brief story real quick?
Please,
Always.
this is what
Anything.
this is what this podcast is for. Is telling stories.
So my guest and I went to a place called the Pleasure Chest.
Yeah, I already like where this is
Go
going.
on.
It is a massive sexual
Adult playhouse.
accoutrement. Yeah, in
Point.
the middle of,
Word points.
of West Hollywood, which is a
Even better.
which if anyone is familiar with West Hollywood,
is
it's a
full
very-
of characters.
Yes,
Characters.
yes. It is. I think it's the gay capital of Los Angeles.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But so we go into this.
But it is
building,
also
and-
full of characters.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Like
No,
there's a lot of drug use in West Hollywood. That's what I was giggling about.
that too. Well, depends on which part of
Yeah.
If you're in the night, if you're in the main part of West Hollywood where the grocery store is, it's just really short shorts everywhere, which I always find fascinating.
Hey, that's great. I love short shorts. Doesn't matter who's
Short
wearing them.
Yeah, short shorts and dogs. Those are like the two things you see in most of West Hollywood. Anyway, so I don't know if you guys have been to a sexual accoutrement store in a while,
Well,
but
not
boy, oh
in the
boy.
last year.
Definitely not the last year. This is my first one of the year, and I have to admit, the I don't know how you fly with some of the stuff that they sell you in these places, because it's pretty crazy the kind of stuff that they're coming out now. I went back. The last time I've ever been to one was back in like 98, 99, right, where they were selling these chairs, these black chairs in the shape of a penis, and they're very large. And you're supposed to put your butt in it so that it goes all over it. Very large, though. Very, very scary. Not so much anymore, though. Now it's all binding devices and cages and like masks and gimp masks and like all of these things. And I'm thinking, you can't take any of this. You can't take this any of the flight. Like, you can't fly with any of this stuff. Like, this stuff is insane. Like, none of this stuff looks like
you have somebody ship it for you.
Yeah, that's that. That's true. I guess it could have been shipped. But let me just tell you, I don't know if you ever decide to go back to one of the, or you ever decide to go to one of these things, just call me. I'm not a prude, but I was incredibly shocked by the types of things that they are selling. And they still sell porn DVD Blu-rays, which it really kind of blew my mind.
Blu-rays.
Yeah. For like $60 still, and I'm like, you do realize all this stuff is free online? Why are you selling this stuff?
What? There's
so much.
There is a similar shop in Minneapolis called Sex World, and they have a coin operated just giant penis you can ride out front. So
Out front,
yeah.
Like. Ride like a horsey or ride?
Like a simian.
Points.
I'm guessing. Yeah.
Everybody should have one of those.
I don't say I can't say no to that. Yeah.
This just turned into a dark episode all of a sudden. I wish I had a shorter version.
After dark.
A shorter version of the intro. And also have it queued up, which I don't. Producer. I need a producer. That'll work for free. So yeah, I think the original thing going back to this was beer at a grocery store, and it's weird. But Savanna, I am very happy that you decided to have it your way tonight, and we all have this tasty beverage to drink because it's tasty. It's good. I like it.
I think it's going to happen for at least the next few weeks until I'm done.
Probably. Just because I got the 6-pack, and it's either that or I'm drinking Corona, which, whatever.
What are you, Fast and the Furious? Come on now.
Just because I'm
I just watched Tokyo Drift last Friday, and let me tell you guys.
No, Tokyo Drift is Heineken. Fast and Furious is...
Oh, I know, but it's still bad.
Oh.
In the vein of those movies, it's just...
Well, first off, you don't have Dom Toretto in Tokyo Drift.
He's in the last 10 seconds of it.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. because I was hoping to say this, and you just let me do it. He lives his life 10 seconds at a time.
Yeah. Yep. And the country bumpkin is like, this ain't no 10-second race.
I forgot. I completely forgot because it's not Paul Walker. It's some random dude.
Now, somebody was telling me that Paul Walker's like CGI'd in a recent one, apparently.
Yeah, the last one.
I heard it's his brother.
Well, they CGI the brother's face to look like Paul Walker.
Yeah. So
the brother does some of the lines.
Yeah, they did. Somebody stood in.
Yeah.
They Grand Moff Tarkined him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the ending of that movie where they CGI him in, there's this weird they're all at the beach having like a barbecue, and then there's this non-explanation as to why Paul Walker's character and Vin Diesel's character get into a car, and then they just drive off, and then they at a fork apparently they separate for some weird reason, and that's how the movie ends. It's like, why did they just do that? First off, he left his his wife and his daughter behind at the beach. So where the hell is Paul Walker going? And Vin Diesel, like, he didn't say anything to anybody. He just walks into his car and then just drives off. It's like, what are you doing? It's terrible. It's so terrible.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
all the
Like,
rest of
it
the
was
plots
just-
and
I'd never seen Tokyo Drift, and of course we were at the theater watching it, and I was just like,
It was at the-
really? Like it was. Like I said, they're playing. They're playing all of them.
hang on. You went
They're
to a
playing-
theater recently?
They're playing all of the Fast and the Furious every Friday for free.
Oh, well, fuck.
Yeah, it was for free. You gotta watch it. Yeah.
And up until they released the Fast 9, and I have a friend who just really wants to see them all, and I have seen 2 of them now, and I have regrets every time.
Wait. So you've seen the first one?
The first one, and then missed a week, and then saw Tokyo Drift.
Oh, so you missed Too Fast, Too Furious, Too
Yeah.
Fast for Y'all. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the one where it's all Asian cars because they didn't have licensing to American cars.
Oh.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, I gave up halfway through the first movie. Like I sat for the whole thing, but like as far as like investment, I was done halfway through the first movie because I was like, none of these are even real cars.
Yeah, they
Like,
are.
The cars were real, but those were all just bolt on, just make the car look
Oh, yeah.
pretty. It's not. It might be a real turbo, but it's not actually hooked up to anything.
No.
There's a shot in the first movie where they lift the hood, and there is shit that's not connected to other shit that they're supposed to be connected to.
I mean, you know.
So I was just like, I gave up, and then read a thing about in the first movie. There's a scene. There's the big first street racing scene, and all the cars that are lining the race strip, the drag strip, if you will.
Mhm.
Those are the only real cars in that entire movie. Because they went to a street, the producers or somebody, scouters, went to a street racing thing and was like, hey, you want to have some of your friends show up to a movie set and get your car put on a movie? And like 2,000 kids were like, fuck yeah, we're going to come.
See, the only thing I remember from that scene was the woman with her butt hanging out of her shorts walking up to the front of the line before waving.
Which
her little
movie?
flag.
Which one?
The
It's
first.
all of them.
It's all.
Well,
of them.
okay,
Well, no,
yes.
no. For some reason, no. For some reason, at 5, it switches,
Oh,
and like it's
It
all
switches.
like heist movies from then on out. It's all
It's
heists.
true.
yeah. I
It's
mean,
true.
they're kind of heist movies anyway.
Kinda, but
Kind
yeah, I
of.
think after the second one, really.
No, the third one had.
Which is the
Third
one-
there was
which is
just like an element of goods movement.
What was
essentially.
which is the one? It might even be the first one. Now that I'm thinking about it, which is the one where the one guy is like he's stuck on a semi truck and someone
Yeah,
shoots
that was
him.
the first one.
That's the first
Okay,
one.
well,
Yeah.
fuck.
He had
doesn't
shot.
matter.
He had shot the
driver.
the wire
Oh, the
over,
wire.
and he was gonna go over it, and then basically got twisted, and his arm
And
was in it.
if
and
I'm not
it was really
mistaken-
uncomfortable to watch.
If I'm not
But-
mistaken, they were stealing DVD players in that movie.
No. That's where it gets great. So it is a TV with a combination VHS DVD player in it, like a CRT fucking fat TV with a combination VHS
Which were always the highest
VCR,
quality of TV.
DVD. Like
Hold on. When
It
did Fast
was-
and the Furious come out? Okay.
2001,
One.
Okay.
2000, 2001.
Yeah.
So maybe
that
not
makes
a
sense.
maybe not a VCR, but it was a TV with probably with a DVD combo in it then.
I was gonna say that makes sense for 2001 because that stuff was expensive.
Yeah.
DVD
Yeah,
players were
yeah.
expensive. You had to get like a PlayStation to get like a good DVD player. So
But never in life has there ever been a good combo TV media player.
no, you always have to get it separate. You never get the combo.
The
You always
only
get
the
it-
only one that was good, and now that I want to bring it up, it was a Laserdisc player.
Mhm.
There was a Laserdisc player that had a Genesis that you can that was like an add-on that you could slap in. It was like a gigantic cartridge was like just a computer, but it had a slot in the side of the laser display. You just slid this Genesis computer right into it. It was great.
Now all I can think of is like, that's a weird combination. Oh, just like in Pimp My Ride when they put like a water fountain in the back, or like a waterfall in the back of this dude's
Any water feature in a car.
Fish tank,
Fish tank. And they
How
never
much do
gave
you
you
think-
trunk space because that's where the speakers had to go. And I'm
Yeah.
like, why do you want? No.
Yeah.
Give me trunk
How
space.
high
None
do
of
you
this is practical.
How high do you think Exhibit was for each and every one of those episodes?
Yes.
Oh, so high.
That's
Just
the
yes.
answer. Just yes.
Yes.
'Cause,
I think
like,
half the time he didn't even know where he was.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
whose car is this? What am
Yeah.
I doing with it? Who cares?
Why?
Put a waterfall in that thing. Where's my waterfall and where's my Genesis that I could have, or my Super Nintendo I'm gonna put in the front seat?
Yeah. What's our budget? Let's spend all of it on neon lights and TVs.
This dude loves PlayStation. We're gonna put 40 PlayStations in this.
Yeah. On
Did
this
you-
old
did you guys ever-
1963 Ford Falcon. Yeah.
Did you guys ever
or like a cutlass, like just yeah.
did you guys ever know any cats that had TVs and PlayStations in their cars?
No.
Oh.
I knew a couple guys, and they to be fair, they were like sponsored by like stereo companies.
Mm.
Okay.
But yeah,
my sister had a friend who had a literal car phone, like a
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah. There was a time where I was in I believe it was a Bonneville, Chevy
Ooh.
Bonneville that had, not only did it have a handheld phone, it had a heads-up display for the driver, like the speed and like direction was projected onto the windshield.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, that was awesome tech when I was in high school, hanging out at the bowling alley. Look at that, coming back around.
The bowling alley.
The bowling alley.
So I like about them high school girls.
Mm,
That was you, Josh. That was you.
that was not
Yeah.
me.
Look,
was
I
not
ever
me.
since like I don't bowl anymore.
That guy
I
had
can't
more
bowl
hair than
anymore.
me. No, but the bowling alley was a fresh place to hang out.
Ours was a
Fresh.
skating rink.
Wow.
It was fresh. It was. You can bowl. You can flirt with whoever you wanted to flirt with. Maybe see or get into a fight.
Yeah, there were always fights at the bowling
There were
alley.
always fights at the
Always.
bowling alley. I was involved peripherally, so not really in one, but my crew was.
Your crew.
My crew was, and it was funny because it all started over Mortal Kombat. I was playing Mortal Kombat, and some rando I'd never seen before walks up and was like, "Hey man, can I play against you?" I said, "Yeah, sure, man." And he picked a female character, and
no,
one
he
of my
didn't.
boys walked up as this guy is just kicking my ass, and he goes, "Oh man, you're getting beat by a bitch." Now, sidestep, not how you should address anybody, male, female, or whatever. But
Dogs. Okay.
dogs are excluded. Female dogs are excluded. I think female dogs in heat are the only exception there. I don't really know.
They have to be in heat.
No, they're
No.
just
Uh,
bitches.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like,
The guy
phew.
thought my homeboy was calling him a bitch. That fight wound up with 3 guys kicking the shit out of my friend, and one guy facing off against the guy that I was an apprentice for, who is like huge, just a big motherfucker, and the guy tried punching him several times, and my boss just kept slapping him across the face really hard, like thunderclaps. And the guy called him a bitch.
Oh.
And I saw horns come out of this dude's head. And the guy he was slapping went to punch him and left his jab out there just a millisecond too long. And Guy grabbed his fist, pulled it towards him, and with his free hand, Darth Vader choked him and picked him up by his one hand. Just up like this. Like commando. And he said, "This is my weak arm." No,
Oh, God.
Longer story short, because I don't know how long the statute of limitations or the fact that my window's open that I wasn't even aware of. A gun was involved at one point, and we all decided to leave.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, that never happened to me.
And then we had to go back. Well, members of the crew had to go back because somebody's gold chain fell off, and he had to have his gold chain back.
Wow.
And I said, Guy, you're a jeweler. The fuck cares about the gold chain? Can't you just get another one? And nope, that wasn't an option. So he and some of the other crew members went back to go get the gold chain while a shower of local police officers descended upon the bowling alley.
Oh.
Like, good luck, guys. I'm going to stay here and watch wrestling and watch New Jack almost kill somebody on TV.
Because it wasn't enough to just see it in person.
Well, you know, I'd become desensitized at that point.
Because this was acting.
Acting. Which we do every week here. Because who knows what stories here were true and which ones were made up. And that's called CYA, folks. It does it? I don't know. I don't know if that does or not. This is what happens when you put alcohol in my system.
Apparently.
Like,
every week,
even though
week.
this is like whatever 4%, like I'm 1.5 into this, and I'm like, well, this is about the point where my pants come off. All the times, Francis, that we've been at the convention party bar, and I've had quite a few. The only reason why my pants stayed on is because there's people there.
Yeah, whenever we get a Guinness, you know.
Mm-hmm. After I get about 4 or 5 Guinness, pants are ready to come off and just walk around the bar, just talking to people. Just, hey, how you doing?
I hate to tell you, but most people will probably appreciate it. They're like,
Possibly.
oh, good. It's pantsless Josh.
Also, hot tip: if you're going to bring personal adult beverages down to the hotel bar, open them before you get down there. I didn't realize I had a bottle opener only beer until I had it in my hand in the hotel room, where I said, well, shit. I'm not talented enough or an alcoholic enough to do the lighter thing. I have a lighter, but nope. Had to find somebody that had a lighter that knew what they're doing. I guess I just miss convention. I miss the Saturday night convention party.
I do too. I miss cons.
I mean, there's one coming up in September, guys. I'm just saying.
I mean,
Should we plan it again?
Dragon Con is definitely coming. I have been kind of not invited to the show necessarily, but been invited by members of our ancillary crew, Francis, to Astronomicon, which is in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I want to go just because, like, it'd be cool to see the Detroit crew. And also, the thing is hosted by Twisted, who I am a big fan of. It's a horror show, though, so I'm not really a big horror guy, you know? But I am a
Wow.
slut for interviews. So like
I was gonna
don't
say, just say it faster, and you're in.
know. Yeah. So we'll see.
HorrorCon.
Horror.
Yeah, HorrorCon.
So we'll see about that
looking.
one. I have no plans for the weird in-person San Diego show in Thanksgiving time.
Oh God, no.
And
I don't even know why that
maybe
still
coming
exists.
maybe coming out to surprise visit both of you is definitely, I think, a possibility. But outside of this maybe Dragon Con thing,
I mean,
I
Dragon
don't.
Con is the best time for roommate shenanigans, really.
It would be
Roommate
I mean,
hijinks.
roommate
Hijinks.
hijinks, yes, and pantsless Josh, would probably
join
feel
you.
pretty comfortable.
Join you. I won't wear pants. It's all good. Who needs pants when you're at a convention?
Well,
Especially one that probably encourages it after 10.
right.
And it's like, okay, the kids are in bed, sort of. Throw your pants off the side of the hotel.
Throw your pants in the pool.
Is that the new throw a working TV in the pool? You think?
Yeah.
Would be when cons like fully come back, is that what the move on Saturday night is going to be? Is someone's going to throw their clothes in the hotel
Or jump
fountain?
in fully clothed because they're that guy.
Yeah. Or girl.
So crazy.
Let's not exclude anybody else.
I meant guy just in
Yeah,
dodging.
I know.
Yeah.
I was just breaking balls.
I can't wait for look, I mean, the hijinks. It's the best place for
Hijinks of all sorts, whether it be roommate hijinks or artist alley hijinks, or wandering around some downtown hijinks. I want hijinks. I want the shower of Vax hugs to happen.
Oh, I just like you wanted to. Yeah, no, right. Vax. Just a shower in general.
I really fuck, man. I hope, if anything, that this thing has eliminated the non-showering attendees.
Oh, my sweet summer
No.
child. My sweet.
No, if anything, it made it worse because nobody left their house in months. So they're like, I can go a couple more days.
The articles that have come out about
Yeah.
how people have changed their showering habits as a result of the pandemic is like, oh yeah, some people just shower once a week now, because whatever, they're home by themselves, or who's going to smell them?
I mean,
so when they go to the con, they're like, they don't notice their smell.
Yeah.
And so they're just going to be the raunchiest. Oh man.
I hope. I wish and hope.
Con smell. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd be going-
it's
I never
bad.
thought that I'd miss it.
It's one thing to have to know that you're going to have to deal with con funk, the very real possibility that con funk is going to happen, right? But then con stench is just a whole other thing.
I'm going to tell you, man, con funk is going to be times a million. It's
You
gonna be
think?
times a million. Well, we've avoided colds and flus for an entire year.
Con
We've had
crud.
Con crud.
had
Oh
masks
yeah,
on.
sorry.
Crud,
See, it's
yeah.
been so long since I'm falling out of the vernacular.
Yeah. We've been so far away from like germs and stuff that I'm certain that there's going to be some super con crud. this
Oh
year.
yeah.
Well, like I said on a previous episode, I believe that I think I only got con crud coming out of San Diego once, and it wasn't until last year when I really thought about it. And despite us having full access because they gave us hand sanitizer because we're press peoples, I never washed my hands before I put sunscreen on my face. I just put sunscreen on my face.
Well, I mean, that's
So whatever was on my hands now lived all over my fucking face.
Baz Luhrmann would be proud, but I think
Who?
Jesus.
Baz Luhrmann
He
did it.
He did that sunscreen song in like
the
'99.
graduation.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you need to-
you know me and music, guys.
it's not a song really.
It's just he just talks over a beat, and it's just like but it's not like a rap. It's just like
and
a
don't forget sunscreen.
don't forget wear sunscreen.
Well, I know to at least wash my hands first, then put on
Good.
sunscreen.
You know those clubs where they do the bubble thing where everyone's
Mhm.
bubbles. We'll just do
Foam
a
party.
Purell. We'll
Yeah,
do a
it's
Purell
it's
party.
funny. I was recently talking about atomized Clorox or Purell or atomized hand sanitizer is what I said. That will be the
Yeah.
new foam party.
Gross.
Covered. Then everyone really be slip and slide. Woo.
God.
Well, since we came full circle about 4 times now, I think it's time to end.
Yeah.
Savanna, where can the people find you on the internets?
Twitter and only Twitter at Master of Raptors.
It's right underneath her picture. Francis,
technology.
even though that's right underneath your picture, where can the people find you?
At Pod Deck. No wait.
Yes.
Sorry. Sorry.
We will. I'm writing this down as well. You have an appearance tomorrow night, I believe. He's going to be on Super Geeked Up tomorrow night, which you can watch live on YouTube. I don't know what time. He always says it's at the top of an hour, but it never starts right at the top of the hour, so you got to like keep hitting refresh until it starts. But it's Super Geeked Up. It's an awesome improv show. I've been on it and ruined it several times. You can find Francis at sinceresarcasm.net or at AKA the other guy on the Twitters. You can find me at 303_ninja on the Twitters. 303 Ninja on the Jesus Christ. 303 Ninja on the Instagram.
POI.
All the rest of the shit's on the top of the screen. See you next week. Bye.